so fluffy, so very, very fluffy. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, Magic Fan. Welcome to 2023, where we can expect a whole new world of Magic products for us. But before going on to the future, let's take a little look to the past, because I want to count down my favorite cards that were printed in 2022 in the world of Magic. Now this list is going to focus on cards that were brand new to Magic, with an honorable mention reprint. These are brand new cards that shook the format. Actually, none of that. Go to someone else's video if you want the Power 9 of 2022. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the Power Meow of 2022. I'm going to show you my favorite cat-focused cards that were printed in 2022. If you follow my gameplay on my streams every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Pacific time, you know that my favorite type of theme deck is a cat-focused deck. I like to make decks full of vicious kitties, and there are many vicious kitties that made their way onto Magic in 2022. Let's count down those cards. Alright, jumping over to everyone's favorite Magic search engine, Scryfall, proud sponsor of my channel. One day, I hope. They are the best search engine to find everything you need magic-related. Scryfall.com. Tell them VM Campo sent you. So I put in a very complicated search term to then find me the 71 cards that were printed in 2022. Now this does include reprints, and I'm not going to include reprints in my current list, although there are some amazing reprints like Linen War Leader, of course, and everyone's favorite Regal Caracal. Okay, but those were printed previously. We're going to focus on the brand new cards that were printed this year. Okay, let's get started. Actually, one more thing before the main list. I do have an honorable mention for a reprint. Balan, Wandering Knight, has been reprinted. Amazing. This is the 4-mana legendary creature Cat Knight. She's 3/3. She's got first strike. But check this out. Balan has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it. So the art is amazing because you see Balan with 2 amazing blades, and that is perfect flavor because now she's got double strike because of 2 blades. So all you have to do is equip Balan with at least 2 equipments, you got double strike. But wait a minute, pay 2 mana, attach all equipment you control to Balan. So as you've been building your board state and playing a bunch of equipments, then Balan hits the battlefield 4 mana, and then you pay the 2 mana, and all of those equipments just auto snap onto her. That is amazing. I love that. And that is not an equip cost, which is at sorcery speed. This is an activated ability at instant speed. You can do this on your opponent's turn to really flex that Balan used her powers to summon all the equipment to her, or do it on your own turn, of course. And to top it all off, we've got this amazing flavor text. I'm feeling generous. I'll let you choose the blade that slays you. I love it. On a more serious tip, I selected Displacer Kitten as one of my top cards. This was the card that was breaking the format. This unassuming cat beast was just wrecking things. 4 mana, you get a 2/2. Okay, actually, blue mana. It is very rare to have blue cats in Magic. They're mostly white and green. There's some red ones, there's some black ones, but blue cats are pretty rare. And this is a rare card from Commander Legends, Battle for Baldur's Gate. It's rare to have a blue cat, and let's see what does this amazing cat do. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent you control, and then return the card to the battlefield. Okay, so you get a built-in blink effect. Blink effects crafted in the right deck are amazing. You get so much value. You play some card that does something, draws you a card, gains you life, taps an opponent's creatures, whatever, and then Displacer Kitten is just going to be hanging around there as you're casting your regular other spells, cast an Opt, cast a Lightning Bolt or whatever, and then it's blinking your value cards. This is over the top. Imagine blinking over and over Frostlinks or Mana War and such. You're really going to really mess with the opponent with this cute little cat beast. Next up, I've got Lion Sash, a 2-mana 1/1. Now, Kamigawa Neon Dentistry is the set that really went crazy with some of these creature types. Check out this type line. Artifact creature dash equipment cat. Is this the first time in the history of Magic that there has been an equipment creature? Artifact creature, equipment cat. So many types in the type line. Well, it would make sense for this rare card, because what do we get? We get a 1/1, okay. Then we get white mana, activation. Exile target card from any graveyard. Side note, I always tell my stream that if they ever hire me to rewrite Magic cards, I'd be so good, because simply changing the word exile target card from a graveyard to exile target card from any graveyard would make the game way better, especially for beginners. From a graveyard, I think is confusing for people. Now, am I off base? Tell me in the comments. Any graveyard is way more obvious of a play, even for, I guess, experienced people, than a graveyard. And there's so many other ideas that I have for fixing up the Magic verbiage, if only they would hire me. But anyway, so pay the mana, exile a card. If it was a permanent, put a +1 on the lash. Now, I don't know what the flavor is all about here, that this lash gets bigger as it eats the graveyard. Is it like a scavenging ooze type of thing? I don't know. But I love that you have some graveyard hate to make this creature bigger. But wait a minute, equipped creature gets +1 for each +1 counter on Lion Sash. So it's an equipment that makes a creature stronger as you eat the graveyards, or it's a creature on its own, and you've got the brand new ability Reconfigure. I swear nowadays these cards have a novel on them. Reconfigure, which is attach to target creature you control or unattach from a creature. Reconfigure only as a sorcery, and while attached it isn't a creature. So you can have a creature that's getting bigger as you're eating the graveyard, or you can have equipment that makes another creature bigger as you eat the graveyard, and when that other creature dies, the equipment falls off and this becomes its own creature again. So pretty amazing. I'd like to wear that Lion Sash to my graduation and stomp the valedictorian. Alright, so here's a fun, fascinating card from one of the many recent commander-focused decks. Fabine, Boss's Confidant. You get a legendary creature, Cat Advisor. They are 3/6. Creature tokens you control have haste, and guess what? Their ability, Parlay, creates you creatures. And so you flip cards, you and the opponent draw cards, but then you're making attackers and you're making them stronger. This is a really fun build-around card. It came with the Commander deck, so it's already kind of built in that it'll do great stuff. Or get the card for yourself and build your own amazing Naya-focused deck. Sorry, that's the boomer term. It's not Naya, now it's Cabaretti. Make way for Runadi Behemoth Caller, the 3-mana 1/3 cat shaman that whenever you cast a creature spell that is big, that creature enters the battlefield with additional X +1s, where X is the mana, -4. Alright, so yeah, we gotta do some math here, but imagining you're casting a 10-mana creature, 10 minus 4 is 6, so you get your creature +6, so you get a 16/16. That's a pretty unique ability. Also, creatures you control with 3 or more +1s have haste, so you can be summoning these huge creatures that also have haste. Amazing. And Runadi itself also is a mana dork you can tap in and give you green mana. It's just a really fun build-around card for a huge behemoth-focused deck. Ah, those cat shamans communing with nature. Did someone order a cat avatar? A stained glass idol of said avatar? Soul of Windgrace, a 5/4 cat avatar. Whenever this enters a battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from your graveyard back to the battlefield tapped. And then this is sort of like a stealth planeswalker, because we've got 3 abilities like a planeswalker, although they are paid mana activated abilities. Green, discard a land, gain 3 life. Red and 1 more, discard a land, draw a card. Black and 2 more, discard a land. Soul of Windgrace gains indestructible until end of turn, and tap it. So you're doing all of this land shenanigans and doing Windgrace stuff and being a cat avatar and just being too much of a big brain player versus your opponent in your land-focused deck. See, the flavor fits because, you know, you can think of your lands as a kitty litter box. Yeah, that works. No list of the best cats of 2022 would be complete without Jetmir, Nexus of Revels, everyone's favorite cat demon. That's kind of redundant, isn't it? I love cats, but sometimes they're very demonic. Especially mine. It's embarrassing when I do videos that I show my hands because they're all scratched up because my little one doesn't know his own strength. And he'd rather use my hands as a cat toy than his own cat toys. Anyway, creatures you control get +1 and have vigilance as long as you control 3 or more creatures. Okay. Creatures you control get +1 and have trample as long as you control 6 or more creatures. Or your creatures get another +1 as long as you control 9 or more creatures. Anyway, this Cabaretti-focused deck is often about creating a bunch of tokens, a bunch of creatures, and by the time Jetmir comes out on turn 4, you most likely will be at the second mode of 6 other creatures if you played your spells right. Mana Dork here and there, a spell that instantly creates creature tokens, Jetmir is out, all your creatures are +2/+2, Vigilance, and Trample. By the time you get to 9, then they've also got Double Strike, and the game is over. Thanks to everyone's favorite cat demon, Drunk on Halo, which I hear is made out of fresh squeezed angels. Not problematic at all. Tsar Ojanen, Scion of Efrava, is the latest in the long line of cat warriors that first began way back then with Jedit Ojanen in the old days of Magic. Jedit had a very weird color identity, and now this latest Ojanen has aligned more into the Selesnya colors, the green and the white. So we get a legendary creature, Cat Warrior, 4/4 with Domain. So we have Domain. Whenever Tsar becomes tapped, put a +1 counter on each creature you control with toughness less than the number of basic land types among lands you control. Alright, so here's more math. Domain is all about lands. So let's say you're playing 2 colors at least, green and white. You have Domain of 2. You're going to put +1s on your creatures that are 1/1s. Because 1 is less than 2. You've got 2 different lands, Domain of 2. Now let's say you're playing 5 color shenanigans. Okay, 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So all your creatures that are 4/4 and smaller get a +1 every time. So this really rewards you for playing 5 colors, even though the commander's only 2 colors. Now there's also some shenanigans here that whenever Tsar becomes tapped, that usually happens through attacking, but through other ways, maybe Springleaf Drum, you tap this creature and then the +1 stuff happens. So you'll figure it out. But dig this amazing art. The stained glass art style was just amazing, wasn't it? I'm not very familiar with this artist, Esper, but I really enjoy their work. Speaking of the original Cat Daddy, Jedit Ojanen himself is back, and now he's a mercenary? Once being a soldier, now a mercenary. So we get 3 mana in Azorius colors, blue and white. Again, like I said, the very first Cat Daddy was the wrong colors. Kudos, I guess, to Magic to continuing the color scheme, but that's completely off the color pie for playing your other cats in a cat-focused deck. Alright, so legendary creature, Cat Mercenary, 3/3. Whenever Jedit or another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 green mana. If you do, create a 2/2 green cat creature token with Forest Walk. So this is harkening back to the classic Cat Warriors that were also published when Jedit was first published. 3 mana, 2/2 Forest Walk. So back then you had to know what all this stuff meant. There was very little reminder text. Nowadays, Forest Walk is this creature cannot be blocked as long as the defending player controls forests. So you'll be attacking these swift little cats, just get in there and take out your opponent. Beautiful art by Melissa Benson. So this Jedit Ojanen, the newest one, makes cat tokens that have Forest Walk like the old days. Now, good thing that we've got that green mana pip in that text there, because then that means actually it would be a valid green-white focused cat deck with a little splash of blue. Because remember, a commander's color identity is all of the colored mana pips anywhere in the card. So the casting cost is blue and white, but then that activated ability there, I guess triggered ability, is green. So you'll be able to play all the colors of your favorite cats. And to wrap up the video, speaking of Jedit Ojanen, the original Jedit Ojanen card itself has been reprinted in a brand new Year of the Tiger secret layer or promo or something. Wizards has a million products, who knows what it is. But the original Jedit Ojanen, the 5/5 for 7 mana, first printed in Legends way back in 1993, is back and more naked than ever. Yes, once you see it, you can't unsee it. This Jedit Ojanen is completely naked, running at you with a big sword. He's hungry for a meal and you're it. No need to resist. And that was my list of my favorite cat-focused cards printed in 2022. Won't you give them a home in your decks? Why don't you give them boops as they viciously attack your opponents? And then try as you might call them to come closer to you and they'll just ignore you until they're ready to snuggle with you. Ah, cats. So anyway, I'd like to hear your take now. What were your favorite cat-focused cards in 2022? There were several that I didn't mention. This was just my short list. Or tell me what was your, I guess, favorite dog-focused cards in 2022. or any other themes of 2022, tell me in the comments. Tell me your triumphs and failures of 2022 and your goals for success in 2023, all in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, perhaps go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos, and pledge to become part of the VMC crew to keep this channel going, to keep it funded, to keep me motivated. Did you know that very few fans of YouTube creators go that extra step and actually pledge a few bucks here and there to help us out? You would be the few, the proud, the honored that would do so. I would really appreciate it. You can also click join right here in YouTube. There's a join button here somewhere to pledge on the reg to your old pal VM Campos, or you can click the thanks button to give a one-time monetary thanks to this video. Any amount, I would greatly appreciate it. Maybe make that a New Year's resolution. I resolved to pledge a few dollars to VM Campos to help keep the channel going and keep him funded. That's a good New Year's resolution, and I totally support you in that. If you can't quite pledge monetarily at the moment, no worries. Comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. We know what it is. We're in the future. We know how YouTube works. Do it for my videos, please. And in any event, this has been VM Campos, and I'll see you in the next video.